Welcome back to another episode of Fallout Connecticut. I'm your host, ep2. We are on episode 2. We are getting ready to do this. So guys, how you feeling about the last episode?
We survived.
Yeah, we survived.
Yep.
We didn't really face anything particularly hazardous yet. But
No.
I got
One of
shot
us faced
several
me.
aside from Kevin shooting Thomas in the face, that seems to be the most dangerous.
I got
Nice.
shot by my quote-unquote teammate, shot by the turret. I've been shot a lot.
Well, let's
Every time Kyle touches the computer, everything goes to shit. So
Yeah, I'm not great at that.
no. So let's do a formal recap here. We have started off with Kyle waking up, and he's into his first year of being a vault supervisor. A radiation leak with a broken device, the cryostasis ignition, or the CSI, needed repairs, and you had to leave the vault to go get it. Upon leaving the vault, you had a panic attack and tried to scratch yourself into the vault, where
It didn't work.
a ghoul named Zed, who was on the search for Nuka-Cola, saw you, tried to sneak up on you, failed, fell in the chair, and your first reaction was to shoot him. Instead of killing you, he decided to help you out, to where the two of you started wandering the wastelands to go to Sky Vista Terrace, where you met a Mr. Handy robot known as Mr. Sales, number 2. And he said that you might be able to check the inventory down below, but you guys would need to sign a lease, to which you did. He gave you a little bit of a tour. Upon going down into the actual basement, you discovered the only way to access a inventory list location for where the CSI that was supposed to come to the hotel was to wipe everything that had to do with Mr. Sales, causing him to go back to continually creating more levels for the Sky Vista Terrace, or freeing him and shutting down the mainframe.
That was a hard decision because I really need the CSI, but our goal is to fix the world. We're going to make everything better.
That's a nice thing.
Yeah.
To which you did. You shut down the mainframe to free Mr. Sales, and to which the mainframe decided to retaliate with 2 Mark II turrets to shoot at you both. And you guys were able to fight it off. Well, Mr. Sales and Zed were able to fight it off. Kyle hid.
Ran and hid.
You ran and hid.
Yeah.
And after defeating the turrets, you all are now standing in the red light of the basement, to where you are going to find out what you guys decide to do next. Without further ado, let's get into it. So you find yourselves standing, floating, Mr. Sales, in the basement. You no longer have access to the information that could have given you the location of a CSI. You do know that you still have the location to the crypts as well. We are now in the 69-hour mark of how much time you have left to get the CSI to the to Vault 72, and you are all standing there.
Oh, I've been shot.
Oh dear. So I'm going to move straight over to Kyle, who looks in distress. I'm going to examine him and examine his medical condition using medicine skill.
So intelligence plus medicine. If you want to go ahead and give that a roll.
What's the difficulty on the assessing his medical condition?
Since you are typically a sales and your construction as a Mr. Handy, but you do have some skills in this, I'm going to make this a DC 1.
Okay. Intelligence plus medicine is 11, so that's pretty decent. And I got an 8 and a 9, so that's a success plus an action point.
Okay, so you got an action point back.
Take us up to 7 on max.
Okay, so you're able to use your tweezer hand because you have a saw, you have a tweezer hand, and you have a flamethrower. And
Yes.
you use the tweezer, and you're able to just kind of open up the wound a little bit and pluck out
Easy, careful.
the bullet.
Oh my God, Zed, this really hurts. I'm so sorry I shot you in the head. I feel really, I'm in pain, but I feel really bad at the same time.
Just restore 2 health.
Okay.
With that, and like slightly cauterize the wound with the hot end of my flamer.
Ah!
It's quite all right, sir. You will be fine. You are, however, suffering from a degree of radiation sickness. Are you aware of that?
Is that what that is? Yeah, I ran into a radiated room.
Yes, you did, sir. You might want to. I want to see if we can find you some Radaway.
Yeah, I didn't bring anything for that. I didn't think it would be an issue.
It
wasn't in the video.
Move over to Zed, and it's like, sir, are you aware that you have been shot in the head?
Yes, unfortunately, I am. And you
just see
Zed's just eating an iguana on the stick right now. Fallout Logic, just healing.
So, do you want me to try and cauterize the wound a little, perhaps? I don't exactly have the best medical equipment here, but
I'm good.
You sure?
This iguana's magical.
You're very lucky. Someone shot you in the head and you survived.
I was surprised myself.
You shot him in the head?
It was me. It was me. It was the first thing I did.
No.
My first thing
was pretty good. I know couples have their arguments from time to time, but this sounds a little serious.
My first action was to say hello. He responded with a bullet.
Are we just skipping over? Fine, we'll get to it later.
Some would say it's toxic.
Well, not my place to judge, sir. It's not my place to judge. I haven't been able to think for myself in 200 years. This is very, very odd.
So it worked. I had no idea what would happen, honestly.
I don't have to build this place anymore. There's no network instructions forced into the back of my mind. This is so liberating. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know what to do. I don't.
What do you want to do?
You can join us if you want.
Well, I was not supposed to be either a sales bot or a construction bot. I was built to be a standard butler unit, but they reconfigured me for to staff this place because of the union strike and everything. But I really would like to be someone's butler. It feels like it was what I was meant to be, even though it's not what I have been for many, many years now. Do you need a butler? You says? Well, I can be your
companion,
servant, whatever title,
robot pal
you would require, sir. But just if there's any way which you would want someone who could, occasionally warm up some tea for you, or eviscerate someone that's threatening you.
That one seems more useful than our current climate, I think.
They both sound pretty useful.
Well, and I am fully equipped with a behavioral analysis mod, and I am very, very capable at bartering. Even in this wasteland, I've bartered with quite a few individuals who've come past here.
You sold us an apartment, and I have a home.
Well, I'm not sure if that apartment's actually probably going to be around now that I'm no longer obligated to reinforce the buttresses every day. I'd suggest we take what we can from here, sirs, and move away, because I think we've probably got there's a reasonable risk of building collapse.
A strong wind, it will do us in.
Exactly, yes. I don't believe we don't have any direct supplies down here, but we have been scavenging and extracting materials for many, many centuries. So I believe there's a few rooms worth of material.
Can we get some ammo out of those turrets?
Electronics, asbestos. We can maybe carve a little bit of electronics out of the mainframe here that's now dead.
If you want to search for items, I would have you guys do a survival plus intelligence. If you want to try to grab some of the ammo out of the turrets, it is a survival plus endurance.
Mr. Sales has his own little stash of things to collect as well.
You know where those things are, so you can go find those. So
all right, it
you
sounds
two,
like he's going to get some vital equipment for survival out here. Zed, can you try to get some ammo for me?
Yeah. Am I looking for it? Or like
so it would be salvaging
it
it from if you want to salvage anything from the turrets, you can certainly try, but it's going to be a survival plus endurance, and because the turrets are above you and you did some really big damage to them, it's going to be a DC 2 check.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy to get in because you cut them in half.
Yes, but he also damaged a lot of things, and they are still electrical.
Fine, I tried.
I'll take a look, and I'll spend an action point since we have 7. So I'll roll 3.
Okay.
19,
I'll look around here for scraps and supplies and such too.
19, 4, and 8, so I have 2 successes.
Okay.
You said DC 2, so
yeah, it's a DC 2, so you're able to make it. You were able to pull out 10 5.56 millimeter bullets.
And I got a 1 success on my scavenging check.
So you are able to find, because you're searching through, they have gathered, Mr. Sales and the other robots had gathered a decent amount of random items. You were able to find a fan, you see some old gas cans, you see just various pieces of metal and alloys that they thought they could use. You find a small tin that says caps on it. Open it up.
Caps.
And what is your luck?
7.
7?
6. Sorry, 6.
6? I thought that was a nat 20. It's a 1. So you find 6 caps in there.
Ones are great. What game do you think we're playing?
1 is a nat 20.
Yes, it is. But I was rolling how many times your multiplier.
Okay.
So
what the hell are bottle caps? He's useless. What else do we have down here?
Mr. Sales floats back in, and he has a large toolkit now hooked to one side of his that, and he's got a little like old 1950s style like vacation case, which he's carrying in another hand. And he's like, "Oh yes, there's some spare caps there, so I have another 42 here, if you need them. They use them as currency here in the wasteland."
Why?
It's apparently become a form of currency in the settlements around the area.
That's so impractical.
I know, sir, but you believe me, you can buy quite some useful things with enough caps.
All right. Whose idea was that? Caps. They're loud. They take up a lot of space.
I think it's because they can't be manufactured anymore, sir. They require machinery that doesn't exist, and therefore there's a degree of scarcity.
Okay, I guess that makes sense then.
And, you know, like, with no one really caring about gold or silver or anything like that anymore.
Huh. Okay. Well, I got 6 caps. Am I wealthy? I don't know what that is.
That's not particularly wealthy, sir. I mean, I have, this is everything I've got left over after several years of trading. He takes out 42 caps in his hand in a little tub. So we can pull that, sir. I don't need, and we can maybe trade for it. He also has like a little, as he opens up the briefcase, and there's an amount of materials that have been extracted. So I've got a few rare materials, a few uncommon materials, and a few common materials for crafting. That he's like asbestos and circuit boards and stuff like that he's collected. And a very smart, pristine-looking, formal tuxedo and bilby cap that he's kept. This was meant to go to whoever I was going to be sold to when I was going to be a butler, sir. Do you think it would fit you?
I got my suit.
Mr. Zed?
I mean, I'll wear the hat.
Do you want the hat, sir? Of course.
To cover that gash in the forehead. I'm sorry again. Getting shot hurts. I'm going to try not to do that too much.
Okay, so Thomas, the formal hat will allow you to re-roll a d20 once during a scene on a speech check.
Yeah.
All right.
But it provides no protection whatsoever, though, and will probably get destroyed the first time someone shoots you in the head again.
Again.
So where are we going, sirs? What are we doing? Because I really don't think we should stay here too much longer. He moves over and he's starting to use his buzzsaw arm now to carve out bits of the mainframe and is pulling down plates, pulling things out. He seems to be enjoying it a little.
Yeah, whenever you're done there, we have to. I still need the CSI. It's really important. We're getting low on time. Crypts. Have you been to the New Haven Crypts?
I have only been a short distance from this tower, only as far as the mainframe would allow me to scavenge for materials or trade, but I have heard of the Crypts from a few people that I would talk to, and it's... You sure you want to go there, sir? There's some very unpleasant things down there.
No, it sounds like a really bad thing, even not right at this current period in time, but I need it. I got to get the CSI.
Well, there is certainly that's one place we can go, sir. I mean, there are other. I've heard rumors of settlements in the area. I don't know, if Mr. Zed, if you've seen anything. I've heard rumors of a settlement down towards the center of town, and maybe some people living over in what was formerly Yale University.
Honestly, I figure our best bet would either be the crypt or the remnants of Yale would have it. But, I mean, if he was told the crypt, we should probably look. I'm even hesitant to go there, but...
Well, I suggest I am at your service, sir. Whatever you need, however I can help.
Which one's closer?
Yale would be closer, sir.
Is it on the way?
Well, sort of. Yale is about as far away from the center of town as we are at the moment, so we would have to cross through the center of town to go up, and then we could cross over to the crypt, or we could head down towards the Union settlement. I've heard that there is a settlement down near to the town center, or formerly the town center, that there may be some people there that can tell us more about either place. That's kind of on the way.
I was virtually born yesterday, so if you guys think one or the other is a better idea, I'm in. But I got 69 hours. It's really ticking down.
My experience is 69 hours, so really, what is the urgency?
The CSI sprung a leak, and I had to shut down everything, which kind of put my vault people in a window where if I don't get that thing and fix it, they're going to die. They're going to thaw out and die. And so it's super important. That's why I left the vault. I would never have left otherwise.
Very good, sir. Well, my suggestion would be the crypt is probably going to be a fairly dangerous place, and we will probably want to get some medical supplies, specifically something to deal with your radiation.
Yeah, I've got
poisoning,
a stomach ache, so
poisoning before we venture down into the crypt. So I might suggest we try and barter and trade a little with what we have, with whatever we can gather from here.
Yeah.
And get some information, if that would be my suggestion. But Mr. Zed, you're the one that has wasteland experience from the looks of it. Since Mr. Kyle has only just emerged from a vault.
Hi.
You two got together very quickly, didn't you? It's like a love at first sight thing.
Something at first sight.
Hang on. First of all, Mr. Sales, how do you know my name? Because I don't think I told you. I don't think I told you either, Zed.
It's embroidered on your vault suit, sir. Just there. Points his claw to your chest.
It is.
You really didn't know that?
We don't have mirrors. We're no sugar, no mirror vault.
But no sugar, no mirror vaults.
Yeah, so I was developing a conspiracy theory, but it was just on my shirt.
It also explains why his beard is patchy in spots where he didn't shave properly, and it just starts to grow. While you guys are having this conversation, you do, excuse me, hear thunderous clouds off in the distance, not too far off. The basement is probably the most secure and intact. However, the floorboards are rickety and splotchy. There's parts that are open and even opened up to the environment itself. And you start to hear that the clouds of, and Zed and Mr. Sales, you would be familiar with this. This is the sound of a radiation storm on the edges of horizon.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We should move and find other shelter than this, because that's a very ominous sound.
This
Radiation storm, sir.
what? That's a thing.
Radioactive rain, yes. It happens on a fairly regular basis here.
That's like acid rain, but worse.
It certainly is, sir. And we would need to get you away from here to shelter, because if we stay here, there's a good possibility the building will fall during the storm.
Yeah, I want to get out of here.
We will be stuck down here.
That's horrible. Let's go. Let's get in the elevator and get out of here.
Okay, so you guys get in the elevator, and that grindy, metallic, rusted sound as it slowly goes up one floor. It sounds and feels like it takes you up 4, 5, 6 floors at the speed it's going. You might have been able to actually climb out quicker than it takes you up. But you get up, and then it gives that little ding, and the door opens. And now that you are actually more open to the environment itself, you can start to feel a dry, dusty wind starting to blow across. You can feel that the storm is within hours of you guys coming on right now.
Mr. Zed, I'd suggest we try to head to the Union settlement, maybe.
Yeah, you had a good point about getting supplies, so.
And that possibly we maybe find somewhere to shelter from the radiation storm on the way. I realize that I've encountered a few of your kind, Mr. Zed. Radiation is somewhat of a boon to you, I understand.
It is. It actually is refreshing.
Unfortunately, I don't think the same is true of Mr. Kyle.
No, it hurts. I feel terrible right now.
Well, let's get
So
out
does
of
my
here and
head.
I can only apologize so many times.
So, all right. So as you guys start to step outside of the building, who's leading this party?
Not me.
I mean,
Zed's the only one that knows the way, so I'd say we're following him.
So I'm going to have you do a survival plus endurance check. This is going to be a DC 2 check right now.
survival is 3.
Take an action point. We got 7, so.
Oh, we'll have 5 now because I used 1 for my scavenging for the ammo that Kyle can't even use. So I'll use another 1.
Okay.
6. Ooh, a 3. So that's my tag skill.
Mm-hmm.
And 18. So 2 successes. Well, technically 3 because normal, a tag success, and then a fail.
Okay, so you get 1 action point back. So you know, even with the storm, how the direction to start heading. You start heading that direction, and you start to hear this almost cloppy sound. You hear this bestial grunt, and you hear this secondary bestial snort, and this heavy lugging sound starts to come towards you guys.
The hell is that? Draw my gun.
Right from around the corner, you see a bovine's head completely covered in tumors and radiations, and then you see the second head pop up as it is still connected to this one body and comes around carrying this ridiculously huge amount of caravan supplies. And this small young red-headed female comes around wearing leather armor, and she's just kind of guiding it along. Come on, Bessie, I told you we got to keep on going. The storms are coming. Come on, you stubborn ass.
God, do we shoot her?
No, sir.
Oh.
This is one of the Wastelanders, I believe. That's a caravan trader.
Hello there.
Good evening, madam. How are you?
I'm
I'm sorry.
There's a storm.
We are aware. We are trying to move and head on with the storm as quickly as possible. Possibly find some shelter if we don't make it to the Union settlement on time. Are you heading to the Union settlement, madam?
Gosh, no, I'm actually heading to Enlightenment Camp.
Enlightenment Camp. I've heard of that place. Is it a nice accommodations there?
I don't know, never been.
Very well. What is drawing you there, madam?
And she kinds of points to her supplies. Do robots always speak for you fellas? You, Vault Dweller. Do you speak, or does the robot always take charge?
Well, I like his accent.
Uh-huh.
So I'm okay with it.
I'm reasonably diplomatic in comparison to my companions, madam.
Uh-huh.
It's part of one of my functions.
Okay. What about
So
you, Spooky? Do you talk?
When I have to.
All right. Well, y'all boys not naturally from around here, are you there, Mr. Vault Dweller?
I'm from very close to here, actually.
And
Yeah.
I'm from right immediately behind here, well, for at least 200 years now.
You sound almost foreign. Where
What's
you
that
from?
supposed to mean?
With the
I'm
the drawl and such.
what draw?
No, you sound. I like your accent too.
What?
I'm sorry. This is why the robot talks. I'm sorry.
I'm confused. You know what?
Do you have a CSI?
I don't. Can
Like a
spleen,
with
intestines?
thingy?
I got some
No.
spleen and intestines if you want that.
No, whose? Why?
What do you have for trade, actually, madam? That might be or are all of your supplies destined for the Enlightenment Camp?
Are you boys holding? You guys got guns? Is this a stick up?
No. We were just wondering if you were interested in barter, or if you could perhaps provide us with a little local color or flavor.
I don't think I want any of the flavor that is happening here.
You boys aren't loaded at all? You guys aren't carrying?
Well, we are able to defend ourselves, of course, but we are not threatening you.
Okay. I love this. You see her, and I can't do the whistle, but she just puts her fingers up and she does that
Mother.
whistle. And Thomas, what's your defense? 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely does go through. And Kevin's yours went through as well.
You don't know what my armor is?
Well, I rolled 2 natural ones, so
I don't believe you.
Same.
I got 8s with you, so
Oh, that's fine.
you both feel a agonizing plunger feeling needle prick into your guys' necks. And the world starts to go hazy.
Are these chems?
These are narcotics. These are tranks.
I would say I'm chem resistant.
All right, here's how I'll do this. It is going to be for you, because I rolled nat ones with, you know what, Kyle, you're knocked out. You don't even stand a chance. It is going to be a DC 3 check for you, Zed. And then as this happens, let's see if she hits you proper. And that is a 4, and that is a 9. So how this goes down, you both get hit with the plungers. I need Zed, go ahead and make let's see if you can beat this DC 3.
What am I rolling? Endurance and what?
Let's
Survival
do this
or-
as a survival and endurance.
So that's need 9. I'm gonna burn 3 action points because I feel like this is important. So I'll have 4D.
You're gonna
4D
burn that
20s.
many?
I don't trust this shit. It's DC 3. Alright, so you need to get a 9 or less. 9. 15, so that's a fail. Nope, fails.
Okay.
16 to 4. No critical fails or anything.
Okay. So just so you know, chem resistance is just you take 1 fewer damage dice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you get damaged by something with that. Yeah, you struggle a little bit. Mr. Sales, you see Kyle just immediately fall down. He kind of goes, he just feels like, and he goes, and then just flops. And then the ghoul looks over and kind of fights it off just a little bit more. And he kind of takes that one staggering step and then he flops. And then as you've turned around, you just feel, see, you're a robot. I don't know if you actually feel pain. But you definitely feel being invaded from the back as your circuits are pulled from behind and you just kind of shut down.
Okay.
And everything has gone black for you guys. The nausea takes over you, Kyle and Zed. As you sit there, you feel this wavy sensation of swaying back and forth. A cool mist wetness just starts to coat your body, and just you sway and sway and sway, and you start to come to, and from the sky are these 20-foot trees hanging upside down. Lots of vines.
What?
The ground is above you, and below you, your feet are tied as you hang from this long, very decrepit, very rotted wooden beam.
This is a different dream.
You look around, you're in a very marshy area, and you see a small campfire. It's now on the edges of sunset, and you see what looks like 2 raiders, the caravaner being one of them, and the bovine. The raiders are passed out drunk. They have whiskey bottles, brandy, whatever alcohol that they could find surrounding them. And over to the side is Mr. Sales.
Are our hands bound or our hands free, just our legs tied?
Your hands hang above you. They seems like they may have been tied, may not be very well.
Psst, robot. Mr. Sales, can you hear me?
Oh,
No response.
Zed?
You awake?
Hey, yeah. I'm not supposed to be upside down.
I'll get us down. You gonna actually fight though? We're gonna have to fight these guys.
I don't have my gun.
We'll find something.
Yeah, I'm running out of time. This sucks. Yeah.
I know. How high up are we?
Do a perception plus survival.
Perception 7. So I need 10 or less. Okay.
And so make this a DC 1.
Nope.
So I got one success.
Okay. You're about 7 or 8 feet hanging up from where your hands are. So from your head, it's probably another 2.5 feet. So you're about 10 feet up in the air.
I can break the rope, but I know it's gonna hurt.
I mean, there's a lot of blood in my head. We got to do something. Can I try to reach up and untie myself?
Absolutely. I will. Are you going to try to do this quietly, or are you going to try to do? Are you going to try to do this this as quick as possible?
Somewhere in the middle. I see they're drunk, but I really don't want to get noticed.
Okay, so I need you to decide one way or the other.
We'll go quietly.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I
quiet.
can tell this is
Okay,
bad.
so it's going to be a sneak plus agility, and
Okay.
that is going to be a DC 1.
For me as well?
Yeah, if you're doing stealthily.
Yeah, I'm gonna do stealthily.
One success.
Same. Got a 5.
Okay. So you are able to untie your feet, and as you both untie, you're able to hold on to the rope so you don't actually fall down and flop to the ground. However, you do just kind of down onto the marshy, wet ground of this boggy area. Again, they kind of stir a little bit. The Brahmin looks over at you, his head's kind of chewing cud and just staring off, very blankly staring.
What the hell is wrong with that cow?
And then over again to the left, about 5-10 feet from where you guys are, is Mr. Sales, non-responsive.
Do I have my gun on me?
No.
Do we see our equipment?
Not really.
Is it out in the open or
No, it is definitely not out in the open.
All right, I want to go check on Mr. Sales. Can I sneak up to him potentially without?
Sure. Do another sneak agility. It's going to still be a DC 1.
Yeah, I got a 2.
A 2?
One success, yeah.
A 1 success. Okay. So you're able to sneak up to him. He seems to be intact. It looks like they dislodged his circuit board from the back of him.
Is it still there? Can I try to put it
Yeah,
in?
you can try pushing it back in. Do a science and intelligence check just so I make sure you're doing this proper.
Can I make it a repair check? I'm trying to fix him.
Sure, go for it.
Hell
yeah.
So 6 and 3. 2 successes.
Okay, you are able to start him up, and because you did it so well, his levitation ignition doesn't even give that like backfire. It just immediately, and he starts floating up.
Shh, Mr. Sales. They were bad.
I know, sir. I did not realize that at the time. I suggest we
kill them.
carve up 2 of them and then interrogate the last one to determine where our stuff is.
Right to violence.
There's only 2 people.
Well, we carve up one of them then. And leave another one for interrogation purposes. Sir, this is a kill or be killed situation. I have seen what these raiders do.
Oh, I mean, I don't have my gun, but yeah, we'll give it a shot.
He raises his buzzsaw arm and his flamer arm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we'll be fine. I didn't use it last time anyway.
So you see a male raider. He has a hockey mask on. He has various pieces of leather armor, just like shamble of like whatever metal he could find. And then there is the female who was the caravaner, who pretty much tricked you into it.
I suggest that she would be the ringleader and probably the best one to interrogate, Mr. Zed.
Do I see any weapons laying around?
Perception
Like
and intelligence, or sorry, survival.
Nope.
You do not see anything.
Yeah, I'm still a little dizzy. Okay. Yeah, so what if you guys are ready? Do the thing. We're getting the big ugly guy, right?
Okay.
Said, yes, I would suggest we put my buzzsaw right up to his throat and then activate it at the last second just to cut
Okay.
cut
So
the
this
jugular.
this is a close range attack. Even though he's, you know what, this is going to be a DC 0. Go ahead and roll to do your attack. Let's see if you.
So,
I thought that was gonna be the vicious one.
So that's going to be melee plus strength.
yep, which I have a 10 in. Okay, I got 1 success.
Okay.
Out of
So
18.
so you, as you put the buzzsaw up to his neck, it just and it immediately starts viscerating his throat. He's not able to make off
God.
any sound or scream by the time you decapitate his head. However, the female is immediately alerted to everything that is happening right now, and she
Guy
just
whimpers
starts
pretty loudly.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm going to turn to the female, and I'm going to make a speech check using my terrifying presence.
Okay.
What's the difficulty on that?
For this one, because you just decapitated somebody and now you have this blooded blade and you're turning towards her, I can't even justify giving this a difficulty whatsoever. So we're just gonna make it a 0.
Oh, I got a natural 1 and a 12. So, and because that's a tag skill as well.
So you get
Yeah, so that's 3 successes.
3 successes, and so you get 2 AP points back.
Yeah, we're full.
Okay.
So,
right, and
so how are you doing this, sir?
I float right up to her, grab her with my pincer arm, and I said, "Now, madam, we are threatening you."
Okay, I see. I messed.
His eyes go red. His eyes turn like a deep red.
Okay,
and there's his buzzsaw arm covered in blood. He just holds up in front of her face.
Okay,
Give him what he wants, please.
Where is our stuff?
Where on the Brahmin? On the Brahmin, you can take whatever
will
you
be
guys want.
Everything. Would you care to, Mr. Zed? Would you like to bring over some of that?
Do you guys
rope
not
that
know
we were
where
tied
you're
up
at?
with?
I have no idea where we are. You knocked me
No,
unconscious.
because you knocked us all unconscious and dragged us here, so we have no idea where we are.
Yeah.
Why don't you enlighten us?
You boys might want to quiet down just ever so slightly. You guys are in the Whispering Willows.
So I have to whisper.
So please explain to us exactly why this is something we need to be so quiet about.
And she points her fingers to the tree that's about 20 feet away from you guys that you were hanging very close to. You see that, boys? That's a wailing willow. And they are not the kindest of trees.
What the hell is she talking about?
Almost on cue, you just hear this moaning sound from the bog around, as if almost alerted by your buzzsaw. It just, this eerie, just moaning, almost tearful crying sound, and the trees seem to shake and move, and branches make the cracking sounds and aching, moaning sounds of branches moving as they sway back and forth. Those are wailing willows.
I'm gonna go over to
The trees.
I'm gonna go to the Brahmin. Is my machete there?
Make a perception and perception and what did I say before? I had
Survival?
yes, perception and survival.
8 and 3. So 3 successes because one's a
Yeah.
tag.
So you're able to find your machete, a secondary one, and in that same bag, you find 17 caps and a rataway.
Hey, do you see my gun?
Well, I'll find that in a second.
Should I be threatened by trees? I don't understand the
Just-
danger.
Let's just keep quiet for now.
Let's follow her advice for the moment.
I have
believe,
I have a
as if-
solution for her.
Yes, other than cutting off her limbs, that was my thought.
Oh, I'm just gonna walk up, put my machete right into her throat. You gotta be quiet.
You shove it into her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you shove it into her, and she kind of gurgles a little bit, and she flops to the ground. And just there's this, because of the silence that you guys have created for the most part, with the exception of the buzz sawing, just this loud splash, and it just almost echoes.
Well, he was still
throughout the
holding her, I
forest.
thought.
I was still holding her
Oh,
up.
you were holding her? Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, so you just stabs into her.
I'll
Oh my
gently
God!
place her down on the floor. Yes, probably for the best. She would have chosen to stab us in the back as soon as she had an opportunity, unfortunately.
or even yell just to get us killed. Kyle, you cannot hesitate in this world.
It is not a nice place out here, unfortunately. People
I
will
think
betray
they're
you.
the bad guys.
And I'll toss up. I'm like, Kyle, come here. I got something for you.
No, don't stab me.
If I was gonna stab you, I would have done it when you shot me.
Yeah, again, last time though. I'm sorry.
I didn't ask for an apology. I'm just pointing out the fact. Here, and I'll hand him the rataway.
Oh, thank God, my stomach's killing me. I will take it.
Okay.
Okay.
How many points of radiation did you have?
It was 1.
1 point. Oh, then yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone away with the rataway.
Does that have a lingering effect, like a vaccine?
No,
or...
no,
Okay.
nothing like that. So you take the rataway. The bovine is now a lot more irritated by the smell of blood, and starts getting very antsy.
Do we kill the cow?
Let's take all of them.
Cows.
Let's take what we can from it and then possibly send it off in another direction to the direction we want to go.
Okay, so you guys are going to start reaching around the bag. So you need to do anybody who's actually going to be touching the bovine, let me know. The Brahmin, let me know. Raise your hand right now.
I'm just going to be going through its
I will
going
too.
through the sacks on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you Kyle, you don't want any of your stuff.
I really want Mr. Wesson, but I'm afraid of those cows.
Okay. That's fair. All right. So you both are reaching. So I'm going to do it because you're both are going on it. It's going to be a DC2 check for you, Mr. Sales, because you are covered in blood, and it'll be a DC1 for you, Zed. It's going to be perception plus survival.
5 and 18, so 1 success for me.
Okay.
And we're full on action points.
Yeah, we're full.
Actually, I'm going to take one because I need. Oh, I got 2 successes.
All right.
Plus, yeah, one not. So
okay,
I succeeded as well.
You're able to find all your gear that you previously had, as well as you find a shotgun and 10 shotgun rounds. And
do we find Kyle's favorite little gun?
Yes, you find Mr. Wesson. You find the 10 millimeter pistol, as well as yes.
Is this yours, Mr. Kyle?
Oh, there you are, Mr. Wesson. Thank you so much. Take it back.
Make sure that wasn't mine.
Okay.
And anyone any good with a shotgun?
I'd give it to the one that likes to stay far back.
Yeah, I've got plenty of training.
Hands you the shotgun.
the raider that was killed instantly, you said he was wearing leather armor. Is there anything salvageable for me to wear for equipment? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. You can take the leather torso, the chest covering,
okay.
and a right leg leather covering.
Well, that's actually really good because I had only the left side, so that'll give me. What about the head? You said he was wearing like a face mask. Is that like an actual
A ski mask?
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you said it was like a hockey mask.
Yeah, it was like sorry, Jason hockey ski mask.
No protection though, right?
Not really, no, but it does give you a +1 for like when you're doing like speeches for intimidation.
I like the fedora more.
Okay. Let's see what the cow's going to do. Yeah. So you guys keep reaching on it, and even though you guys are being careful and everything, the Brahmin is definitely starting to get very freaked out right now, and she just kicks her back feet a little bit, and some of the stuff is starting to fall off the tarps. Just like camping survival supplies starts going all over the place, and out of nowhere, just this whack and whipping sound as one of the willow's branches wraps around the Brahmin and just pulls it up into the tree, and just thwack, thwack, thwack. More of these branches start wrapping around it and start pulling it apart, and you just hear this sickening, bloody, gushy sound as it just rips apart the Brahmin and just starts pouring the pieces into the inside of the tree. I need each of you to make a survival plus agility check for me. This is going to be a DC 1.
I'm going to take an action point because I don't want to die.
Would this be considered like trap wise? Like, because my light step.
No.
Okay.
I'll give you light step. What is it? What?
I can ignore a complication if I roll one, and I can also re-roll a d20.
I'll allow you to re-roll, but I won't let you ignore this.
Okay.
Too many
branches. No, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one of my tag skills, anyways.
I got one success.
One success. Cool.
I got one success as well.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So you guys are able to duck down just in time as it's reaching for the Brahmin and pulling it apart. And you see the willows, and as it's feasting upon it, the moaning sound starts to get louder from this tree and causes the others, and you realize that you are completely and utterly surrounded by these trees.
I understand the threat now.
To move quietly follow the path back that they led us in here. Why would they come in here anyway? I'm confused. But I think we need to get out of here. Mr. Zed, do you know the way?
Probably not off the top of my head, but I mean, obviously I would know where like this is in New Haven. I just probably haven't really gone too far.
So you know this, yes, you know this to be to the north. I would say about an hour and a half, regular wise from Yale University.
Is there any light in the sky to kind of give me a direction wise? Like, is it pitch black? Like,
the sun has set, so I would say, what direction? You can kind of get a little bit of direction.
Okay. Well,
so Yale would
So it'd be south.
Yes, it would be southwest-ish to where you think you might be.
Should probably head southish, southwest. That's the direction. Not exactly sure because I don't know. I didn't really come exploring this for obvious reasons. But I say we go very quiet.
Very good, sir.
Okay. Can I pick up like a rock or anything to use as a distraction if I need to?
Can certainly try. I mean, you can pick up a rock, but like,
I will pick up.
Will it be a distraction? Is circumstantial.
Sure.
So You can try to do this stealthily, or you can try to do this at a regular pace. You do look at your Pip Boy. Now, originally when you guys were leaving, it said 69 hours. You are now at 65.
Oh, God.
It will take you about an hour and a half regular. It's probably going to take you about two and a half, depending on what you guys roll, to stealthily get out of this and start heading in that direction.
Okay. Since
I saw what happened to that cow. I'm not going to try to outrun these trees.
So who's going to... You can do this either as a group, or you can do this as each as an individual for survival, or for stealth.
Should we work as a group?
Yeah.
Okay. Since you guys are doing this as a group, it is going to be a DC 3 check, but it's going to be based on all 6 of your rolls. So
Okay.
it's essentially it's one, basically DC 1 per person.
Okay. Is it still agility survival?
It's agility and survival.
Okay.
Not agility sneak.
You're
sneak.
right. Yeah. Sorry. Go for that.
Nat 1.
Nice. So 2
16.
successes.
And it was a tag skill, so I don't know if that does anything
3.
else besides that.
Okay. So let's see
how
this goes for you guys.
I got 1 success.
Okay.
Yeah, so 4 successes out of the 3.
You got no successes?
I got 1.
Okay. So 3, 4, 5. So 5 successes total
Fine, yeah.
on a DC 3. So awesome. So you have 2 additional AP if you guys have the room.
I think we're max.
Back up to 7 again.
Okay. All right. So you guys are tapped out on action points. Awesome.
Yeah.
Slowly and steadily start making it through the marsh. The fog just coasts along your feet. You can feel the suctioning and wet steps as you go. You hear the clicking and chittering sounds of mirelurks off in the horizon, but you're able to coerce your ways around them. Stepping over vines and larger parts of trees that you would normally have could have climbed on, or just tripped and caused and the trees to start to interact with you. The entire time holding your breaths, listening to the moaning of the trees as they sway back and forth, looking for new prey. You see a mongrel off about 500 feet get flunked up as it got too close to a tree. And you know, God, that this forest is absolutely and completely a predatory environment that you have never perceived before.
I've hiked here before. The trees were not bad back then.
I know. So did I.
Mutation has done many terrible things, sir.
As you start to step out, the ground starts to become more solid, less boggy, marshy. You start to see the first signs of civilization just off in the horizon, just ever so slightly, is buildings, and you start making your way towards it. And with the more solidified ground, the more confident you guys become and start treading that way. 2.5 hours in, you finally make it back out of the Wailing Willows forest.
Kyle, I do have a word of advice for you.
Yeah, I'll take anything you got.
Do not say you're a vault dweller from around here. There's been rumors of a vault for years. If people realize that there was a vault close by, they're going to look for it. Just say you're just new to the area. Like, you don't want to put a target on those people that can't defend themselves.
Well, yeah, they're totally frozen. I mean, I couldn't even get back in, and I live there, so I don't know how many else we get in. But yeah, okay.
Just saying to protect yourself, because I've been circling for 200 years and only knew there was a vault because I happened to be close by when you came out.
Yeah, bad luck for you. You got shot, huh? God, I'm sorry. I apologize.
So, am I given to understand that both of you were here before the war?
Yeah, I lived in Connecticut.
Oh, so did. Oh, well, that's refreshing. I haven't met anyone who remembers the pre-war before.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it was like a year ago for me.
Oh my goodness.
I got my security guard training. I got transferred to the vault, and then cryo the next day.
Yes, yes, it was all very shocking. And you were cryogenically frozen for 200 years, and then they thawed out you? Just you?
Yeah, um, yeah, I was supposed to maintain the vault. That was my job for
Yes.
2 years. It's only been 1 year.
And then they were going to put you back into cryo.
Um, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
So
everyone will wake up and then we save the world. I'm not sure.
oh, very good, sir. And then your CSI broke, and
Yeah,
they sent you out on your own to go find another one.
yeah. So I mean, everyone else is still frozen. So it was just the Mr. Handies kind of made that decision. There's two of
Uh,
them. I asked one of them to come with me. They declined.
oh, fascinating. Um, Seems a bit of a you'd want to have like all hands on deck for such an
I
important
know, right?
expedition, but far be it me from to
They're like,
question
no,
the
we
wisdom
gotta
of
keep the
Voltec.
radiation from leaking, blah blah blah, and and the fun accent and all, but still, yeah, man. But yeah. So we're here, and I got 62 hours left.
So as you guys are starting to go through, you start to see some of the rubble of the buildings, and you start to see the arch buildings of Yale University. There's shattered windows. The doors have very much aged away, and you see these statue plinths where a statue would be standing on have nothing there. They're completely just broken or flattened out. However, they stand at the entrance of one of the walkways, and you start walking into the university grounds. To your right is the library. To the north, or to the in front ahead of you is towards the main facilities, and to the left of you, you see the actual dormitories of the university.
Sirs, I suggest we find somewhere in cover. That radiation storm is still on its way, and well, Mr. Carl, you've been walking for some time now.
I'm exhausted. Thank you for considering that. Yeah, I'm
We
really
really should
tired.
probably find some place for you to rest, that we can properly assess our situation before we go
Yeah.
too much deeper into Yale. Mr. Zed, do you know anything about this place? Other than that it was a university? Do you know what it is now? Is there anything living here?
Um, do I? I know it was obviously I know it's pre-war history, and I'm sure there's been people around here, but
Do let's do let's do intelligence plus survival. It's going to be a DC2 check.
Can I do that as well? Have I heard anything from people I traded with, or
Sure.
one success, one fail for me.
Okay.
one success, one fail for me?
Okay. So you've heard stories, but much of what happens in the wasteland is circumstantial at best. Um, People have said they've seen an albino death claw roaming the vicinity, and that's why it's very much not associated with. Most people avoid Yale. You've also heard legends of the stone itself consuming raiders and caravanners who got too close. You've heard of creatures that roam and climb amongst the rubble and climb all over the buildings and use the roof edges as peaking points for hunting and scouting out their prey. You've also heard legends of raiders dominating this entire facility and having an underground establishment. You've even heard legends of a vault hidden under, where all the philanthropists and educated minds of the Yale area utilize to establish their own domicile.
Yeah, so this was a great school back in the day.
Yes, and it's gone through, from what I've heard, many, many different iterations. I've heard a lot of rumors of very, very dangerous things within. Do we want to delve into Yale? Is there anything you think we can gain a value here, or should we try and find shelter a little away from for the moment?
I mean, they've had, laboratories, and there's a hospital nearby and all kinds of stuff, but I don't know.
Would they have a unit that you're looking for?
Oh,
Are
God,
you
I
now? You
would-
guys
I-
are just
yeah.
standing out here in
Yes,
the vicinity. Just
we're not going
talking.
onto the territory yet.
Okay. Yeah.
We're just
Okay.
coming in sight of it and deciding what to do.
Okay.
I mean, my folks actually worked here. I think that's how they got me into the vault. They got a transfer, and they're like, "Hey, you're going to be okay." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then I went to the vault. But they never really let me hang out at the office or anything. I don't really know what they did. They were scientists of some sort. But it would seem applicable that something might be here.
I need each of you to make a perception plus survival check. It is a DC 3 check.
Haha, 3 successes.
I actually got a 3 with a tag and a 6, so yeah, 3 successes.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
I really don't know.
That's
Yeah,
so good that
roll.
the two of you did. As you guys are having this discussion, Zed and Kyle, you both very briefly see a set of red eyes just on top of one of the buildings as it pulls back, and rubble, pieces of roofing, and cement just kind of crumble and fall off. You hear this scurrying sound as something is crawled away onto the other side of the building.
Did anyone see that?
Yeah, that was doesn't look friendly.
The last thing that was present tried to harvest an organ. So yeah, whatever that is, I'm afraid of.
We should seek some shelter.
We
Yes,
should go.
let's-
We should certainly go.
We should certainly go. Let's find somewhere stable and secure that we can shelter from the storm, and you two can rest. I will keep watch. I don't need to sleep, but we should get somewhere that we can hide away from anything that's spying on us.
Yeah, somewhere defensible, because I don't know. They
Yes.
had red eyes. I don't know what that was. I don't know what anything is here.
No, absolutely.
As you guys start making this discussion and start trying to find somewhere to establish a campsite, Mr. Sales, you feel this just impact hit you as the weight causes you to slam to the ground quickly as two stone-like hands scrape along the metal, making this screeching sound and causing... So you take 5 damage with 2 piercing.
Right. Okay.
God.
All right. Yeah, that goes through my plating, so that takes me down 5 hits.
Okay, and you two see this medium-sized, almost large dog-looking creature, completely granite and onyx, with just these blood red glowing eyes and two stunted wings on its back as it scrapes into this metal entity and is just swiping and mauling into it. And on that, we are going to go with initiative.
All right. 16.
16?
8.
8.
13.
All right. And this thing is a 14. So, Kyle, you're up first.
I'm going to pull out the shotgun.
Okay.
and Shoot at this thing.
Okay.
What's the DC?
This is going to be, I mean, it's you roll your die. It's a DC 1.
Yeah, I got a nat 20. I'm going to luck that away.
Okay.
So let's call it 2 failures.
Okay. So then he's going to go. And since he is on top of Mr. Andy, or Mr. Sales, that is a nat 1
God.
and a 14. So the 14 doesn't go through. So that is going to be 7 damage total with 3 piercing.
Okay, I'm down.
You're down. Oh, God.
No!
So the you just see Mr. Sales down once again. Zed, you're up.
Gonna swing at it.
Okay.
One hit.
Okay.
It's actually a tag success. It's a 4.
Okay.
So that's 2.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my Slayer ability. So I
Okay.
spend one luck point, it instantly turns to a critical hit.
Okay. Left arm.
So that is the critical effect on it. So
Okay. So his left arm goes hypothetically numb
yeah.
as a
and
stone
then,
creature, and it just kind of.
And then for my damage, I have it's the 4 dice is the 4 vault boy symbols.
Okay, so those are the damage plus an effect.
Yeah.
Does it have an
No,
effect?
I have piercing 2 under my attacks.
Okay, and so now you're sparking out right now. You're just like. Pss, pss, pss.
Okay.
Hydraulic fluid leaking.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, like a normal person like starts to die. But I don't
You're
know if
leaking
I do.
antifreeze.
Yeah, or something. So
So then that's going to go back to the top. That's going to go to Kyle.
Up a healing robot.
That would be
Yeah,
repair
there's-
kit. Okay, so there is a gargoyle on top of him.
yeah,
All right.
you to deal with the gargoyle first.
Well,
All right,
so
all right.
I will say this. So the gargoyle is kind of preoccupied with Zed right now as he is fighting him. I won't say he's directly on top of him anymore, but he is within vicinity. So if there's no opportunity attacks, but he can change his choice between you or Zed.
Well,
If you want
I'll
to do the
say,
repair, it'll be
He
So-
fine.
just went down, and this threat is still here, so I'm going to try to shoot it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kill the thing first.
All right, I will use an action point.
Mhm.
DC 1.
Mhm.
That is 1 crit and 1 success. So 3 successes. Action point. And that is going to be 5 damage dice. 3, 4, and 1 spread effect. Which effect rolled, your attack inflicts 1 additional hit on the target. Each additional hit inflicts half the rolled damage rounded down. And hits a random location, even if a specific location was targeted. So when I aim, I have center mass, so I auto aim for the torso, and I do not have to take a difficulty increase on that.
Okay.
And so that was 4, so 2, so 6 damage total. 4 to the torso and 2 to somewhere else.
You just absolutely blast the center of this thing out. And it just kind of doesn't crumble, but falls somewhat apart, cracks and this just black ichor liquid just starts to ooze out of the rock, and it flops over, and the eyes go from the red and just start to fade, and they just these red looking pupils that no longer have a glow.
Ah, I did it. Zed, I did it.
Let's focus on Mr. Sales.
Oh, Mr. Sales. All right, so I'll run over to Mr. Sales and try to repair him.
Okay, so it's a DC 3.
DC3,
Yeah.
we're going to use...
I don't know if I can help him. I don't have any. I don't think I have repair. I
That's
do
a
not.
tag from me. So I'm going to buy 2 more dice. This is going to be 3 action points, which we have heaps of. 2, that's a crit.
Just gonna cheer you on. Like, here's a screw. Here's a screw. Here's a screwdriver.
I need 1 more. I'm going to use a luck to reroll a dice.
Save my butler.
And that's a 2. It's another crit. So
Okay,
4
so yeah, you're
successes.
able to
You
successfully.
restore as many health as you have levels in the repair skill.
3.
3. Okay, so you get me back up. I'm on 3 health and functional, and no longer.
You're just like
Mr. Sales, you're
sputtering a
alive
little
again.
bit.
Oh yes. One moment, sir. Just running a few diagnostics. Ow.
Yeah, you still got a
Is that-
claw back here. Let me just pull that out.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I really don't know what that was, but it really didn't seem to like me specifically.
Yeah, I don't know what you did to it, but he hated you.
He really
was
does
a
not
thing.
like robots. That's the well, maybe it's.
Hey, can we run away somewhere?
That's what I was suggesting, sir. Let's go. Let's go. I need to enact repairs. You need to rest.
So, are you guys resting somewhere in Yale, or are you going to try to find
We're
someone
gonna
on the?
We're
out
not
of
going
Yale.
into Yale.
Okay.
Yale is not appealing. Anyway.
So, all right, who? Because this is at nighttime, this is going to be a little harder.
Zed.
Zed, I'm assuming you're still leading the party.
Yeah.
It's going to be a DC 2. Do survival and perception.
If I can help him, because I'm somewhat familiar with the area, think it makes sense.
Yeah. So you were familiar with the area 200 years ago.
Yeah. The streets are still mostly there.
Yes and no. Yes, the streets are still there, but it's also a lot of rubble. I mean, if you want to help him, I'll give you. I'm gonna knock it down to a DC 1.
All right.
Well, with help, if he needs,
You can
it,
add
I
an
will
additional.
roll
Yeah, if he needs
a
to
D20,
roll,
yeah.
I'm giving you the option. You can either do an additional roll, or I can knock it down to a DC 1.
Oh, knock it on down.
Yeah, knock it down. That one.
We did it.
He didn't need it anyways.
I'm useful.
So, you guys start to get off of the campus. You notice a small building that says, Joe's book. It says Joe's Books on the sign out there. It's just kind of hanging, and you see some old college campus books, pre-war stuff. A lot of them burnt and decrepit. Some of the windows have been boarded up with just various materials that they could have been found. Looks like somebody had originally tried to live here at some time, but you were able to open up the door and go in, and for the most part, because with a nat 1, you're able to see there is a second floor, but the stairs are broken out. It seems to be a singular room with some shelves and just various bookshelves and aisles and everything. Some are pushed to the side. You can make a safe space with this. Even push up the shelves up against the door to help ensure nothing tries to get in.
I think this is gonna be as safe as we can find in this area.
Yes, very good, sir. Very good. I think it.
Kyle, do you want to help me just move this shelf real fast in front of the door?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you guys move. You push it over, it kind of scrapes along the wood, and you push it up. I'm assuming all of you are going to be taking the long rest, if you will.
I certainly.
Well, I am going. I don't. I can't. So I will be spending the resting time engage in a little self-repair. And I am going to be taking, and I'm going to be trying to use some of the materials that I acquired with my deluxe toolkit to see if I can pull together some upgrades for our armor whilst they sleep.
So you are standing a somewhat watch, just kind of floating there. The two of you are just going to rest for the night. How many hours do you guys want to sleep?
Kyle is fully exhausted. He might die if he stays up for too long.
So 6 hours then?
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes the timer down to 61, I think.
We're at 65 at the...
Yeah, so it'll be, you will be
62
at 59.
hours. No, so we were at 62 hours left when we arrived at Yale.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
So we're going to be down to like 55 hours when you wake up.
So you will be... Yeah, so you guys are going to take a rest, and when you guys wake up, it'll be 55 hours left. So you make yourselves as comfortable as possible, piling up various papers and books, your cake and your camping supplies. Zed, this is something you're very accustomed to. This is nothing out of the ordinary for you, and you immediately fall directly to sleep. Mr. Sales, you're sitting there going through all your inventory and any scraps and supplies that you can find around in the actual premises of this little bookstore, and are just welding in and picking it to your actual carapace. And
you can hear Kyle like crying and whimpering in his sleep all night long.
Yeah. And Kyle, this is your first night out in the wilderness. This is your first night out in the real world.
It's not a restful slumber.
It is. All these memories and all these smells and all these sounds and even the wind blowing and the rad storm on the horizon as it passes by, not over you guys, but near. It is just an overstimulating experience for you. And even as you start to slumber, and this is not a good deep sleep, this is a very panicky and stressful sleep. This is something that the military has not prepared you for, and you just feel almost like you're in an alien world at this point. And even as you rest, you feel like you are still walking the wasteland over and over again. You see in your memories as you dream the vault door closing behind you and it never opening up again. You feel the wind and sand blow across you. And as you sleep, you rest and you heal. And this is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you.
Poor Kyle.
And good night.
Once I was happy with heart free from care, had a daddy and mama so sweet, doll and a doggy and playthings so dear, and stockings and shoes on my feet. But now through this world I must wander alone, begging for pennies and bread. For I have no daddy, no mama,